Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Can we do a sound check? I wasn't supposed to go live tonight, so I have not done any preparation for today's show. This is just freestyling, isn't it? We're just going off the dome. So if somebody can give me a sound check and make sure you can hear me, then let me know you can hear me. Then we're going to get this show going because Joe Joyce, that defense is an absolute fucking disgrace. Let me just quickly do a disclaimer because what time is it now? It's probably about 11:15 at night. So look, we're going to get a lot of simpletons sort of listening to this. A lot of simpletons listening to this channel. So let's do the disclaimer and let's do the obvious stuff. Right, I have nothing against Joe Joyce whatsoever. I have nothing against Joe Joyce as a man. I have nothing against Joe Joyce's skin color. Actually, me and Joe Joyce are pretty similar in skin color. I'm a bit darker because obviously I actually am, I'm not mixed. I actually am black. I'm just light skinned. But, I've got nothing against Joe Joyce as a person, right? So you ultra take, you hate Joe Joyce. Ultra hates Joe Joyce. I'll probably start getting emails in a minute going, Ultra, what's Joe Joyce done to you? Nothing. Let me tell you something good about Joe Joyce. The best thing tonight about Joe Joyce's performance is that lovely girlfriend that he's got sitting ringside. I mean, Jesus Christ, I will say this right now. Joe Joyce's girlfriend, let me tell you something. She is the best all-around looking woman I've seen, yeah, in terms of your girlfriend of a boxer. She is absolutely stunning. She looks pure quality. Like Joe Joyce's missus, right? She shops in M&S. And you look at a woman like Joe Joyce's girlfriend, and she's got Marks and Spencer's written all over her. No plastic surgery, no fake tits, no fake lips, no fake anything. Do you know what I mean? Just standard good looking, dark haired, wears dresses nice, doesn't walk around with her baps out everywhere. Joe Joyce's missus, you can tell that's what I call Marks and Spencer's. Some of the other crap that I've seen out on Instagram and out on Twitter, I don't know where they're finding some of these women. Do you know what I mean? Looks like they're finding some of these women in fucking Asda car park. But that's a discussion for another day. Joe Joyce's defense is an absolute fucking disgrace from top to bottom. All right, it's simple as that. I don't know why commentators are continuously overlooking, this man's defensive flaws, and the commentators are telling you that it's okay. Listen, this man is paying his training team 10%. Am I right? This man pays his training team 10% of his. He's paying somebody. He's paying a whole fucking team 10% of his fucking purse. Has Joe Joyce made any technical improvements since the Daniel Dubois fight? Yes or no? I mean, I'm genuinely being honest now. Listen, this is professional boxing. This is professional boxing. You can't allow yourself to go into a ring and get hit on the chin like that. It's a dangerous sport. It doesn't matter. Someone, ABB, this is interesting. They said this on the commentary. Look, Joe has 5 times the bone density of a normal human. And if you drop him off the 4th floor, he will get up and walk away. Well, let me tell you something. If Joe Joyce keeps hanging his chin out to dry, okay, we might have to drop him off the 4th floor. Do you know what I mean? I mean, Joe Joyce might have to get dropped off the 4th floor for giving 10%, 10% of his fucking purse over to somebody who can't teach him how to keep his left hand high. I mean, it is bad. Heavyweight boxing is a dangerous sport. Look, this is what they're trying to insinuate Joe Joyce is. They're trying to say Joe Joyce is some kind of caveman. That's what they're trying to say. I'm not saying it. This is what the commentators on BT Sport are saying. They're saying that Joe Joyce is some kind of fucking caveman with, better than average. But I don't give a fuck about Joe Joyce's bone density. I'm telling you now, any professional coach, right, or any professional team worth their fucking soul, right, who sees a fighter go in like that and get hit clean on the fucking button. And this is not just this fight. This is every Joe Joyce fight. From Daniel Dubois to that tomato can he fought before Dubois to fucking the great Carlos Takam. Who remembers the great Carlos Takam? The great Carlos Takam that fought the legendary Anthony Joshua down in Cardiff in front of 70,000. He's taking the same shots in every single fight. All right, and it's the reason why he takes the same shots. The reason why he takes the same shots is because of the following. He doesn't bring his left hand back to his chin after punching. His jab is not snappy at all. Do you know we criticize Daniel Dubois for pushing punches on this channel? We criticize Daniel Dubois and we say stuff like, Daniel Dubois isn't snappy. He isn't snappy with his shots. He doesn't bring his jab hand back to his chin. He jabs and he leaves his jab hand out there. Joe Joyce is 150 times worse than Daniel Dubois in that respect. This man throws jabs, and it's almost like he forgets he's got a left hand. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. It's like the fact that he has a left hand is like wiped from his memory after he throws a jab. It's like you throw the jab, then you have to remember to bring the jab hand back to your chin because you know when you're in the ring against an orthodox fighter, you know they're looking to right hand you over the jab all the time. That's like one of the ABCs 1, 2, 3 of orthodoxies. Always looking to throw the right hand off the jab against other orthodox fighters. So you throw the jab, bring the jab back to the chin. That's why they teach you. This is like the basics of what they teach you in any fucking boxing gym. Am I right? Am I wrong? If you agree with what I'm saying, press 7. If you disagree with what I'm saying, press 8. Anybody in here who's been to any boxing gym, I swear to God, even in boxercise, they probably teach you to bring your left hand back to your chin after you throw a jab. I mean, this guy is a professional boxer. He's getting involved in fight after fight after fight. I'm sick and tired of hearing about this man magical chin. I'm sick and tired. Oh, Ultra, it don't matter. We need to forget about the fundamentals of boxing because Joe Joyce has got a good chin. Have you heard this fucking bullshit that they be coming out of on BT Sport? Joe Joyce doesn't need to apply the fundamentals of boxing because he has a fucking 4 times more bone density than an average man. What the fuck is going on? But seriously, what the fuck is... I keep saying it till I'm blue in the face. British boxing is an absolute clown show. It's a clown show. Joe Joyce doesn't need to apply the fundamentals of boxing because he allegedly has 4 times more bone density than an average man. So why is he paying 10%? Who is he paying 10% of his fucking training? Who's getting all this money from him then? Who's getting 10? Why bother? If we're not going to bother with defense, if we're not going to pick our left hand up here after we fucking jab, if we're not going to start snapping the jab back, I mean, Mr. Boxing today says, I don't think he will ever have plans of being technical, Ultra. No defense, just walks through everyone's punch apart from Wilder. Listen, let me tell you something right now. All right? I know Joe Joyce has a chin, but that's not the point. Boxing's a dangerous sport. You want to listen. And again, I'm having a go at Joe Joyce's training team rather than Joe. I don't give a shit about if it's Ishmael Salas, Ultra, he's a legendary Cuban coach. Listen, I don't care. All I go on is what I see. Let me tell you the honest to God's truth right now. In my opinion, right? In my opinion, if you train someone and if you're taking money from someone to be a professional boxer, then it's your duty to make sure they take as little punishment in the boxing ring as possible. In some fights, it's not possible. In some fights, you have to go to war. In some fights, you have to go into the trenches. Press 7 if you agree with me, and press 8 if you disagree with me. I think, a trainer or a training team, if you're taking 10% of a guy's money, if you're taking any money from somebody to teach them how to box, you've got a responsibility to make sure that your fighter takes as little punishment as possible. Period. It's not acceptable. It is absolutely not acceptable for any professional trainer who works in the sport of boxing to allow a fighter to go in there and hang his chin out to dry in a manner that he does. And to get hit with overhand right after overhand right in the heavyweight division of all divisions. And to say, oh, it's okay. We don't have a responsibility to teach this man defense. We don't have a responsibility to pick this man up in the corner and say, look, what the fuck? I mean, he might as well train himself at this point. It's dangerous. Yeah, he might be fine today, but as time goes on, it's dangerous. Nobody should be in there taking punches like that. Nobody. I don't give a shit about. And people are saying he was more switched on against Dubois. Has anybody actually watched this Daniel Dubois fight? Because when people watch this fight with Daniel Dubois, it's like they think that Joe Joyce turned into Tyson Fury and then get hit with 150 right hands by Dubois. Dubois was landing right hands galore on Joe Joyce. Dubois was landing right hands galore on Joe Joyce. Simple as that. Go and watch the fight back. Dubois was landing right hands galore on Joe Joyce. It wasn't that Daniel Dubois didn't get in the ring with Joe Joyce and all of a sudden couldn't land the right hand. It's the same stuff. Joe Joyce outlasted him. Fantastic. Listen, we know what Joe Joyce is. He's tremendously fit. He's an extremely heavy puncher. Comparisons to George Foreman. I can see those comparisons. My point is this. I'm not having a go at Joe Joyce, but it's the responsibility of the trainer and a team around him to say, look, I don't give a fuck if you can take these shots or not. At the end of the day, Joe, you've got a lovely girlfriend. Maybe you want to have a family one day. There's life after boxing. I want you to be as defensively responsible as possible. I have this conversation in people who are about to spar. All the time I have this conversation with people. Number one thing that you should be doing when you get into sparring is not a fight, it's not a competition. Number one thing that you should be doing when you get into sparring, you should be hard to hit. Number one thing, you should be hard to hit. You should be hard to hit before anything. Ultra, how do I box? What do I start doing? How do I get started boxing? Best thing you can do if you want to get started in a boxing ring, be hard to hit. Know how to pick up a high guard. Know how to catch a jab. Know how to parry a jab. Know how to catch a left hook on the elbows. Learn how to catch a right hook to the body on your elbows. Learn how to use head movement. Learn how to avoid punches. And then once you have your defense, you build your offense from your defense. You be hard to hit. That's why I always tell people who spar, how do I get good? Yo, be hard to hit. Be hard to hit. You know why? Because you're not inspiring to sit there and take head punishment, take punishment over and over again. It was a joke. It was an absolute joke. Let me just see what's going on. If you haven't hit the like button, please feel free to hit the like button. We've got nearly 100 people in here so far and only 16 likes, which is absolutely disgraceful. As I always say, please hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe if you want to subscribe. And if you don't want to subscribe or if you don't want to hit the like button, you know what's going to happen.
What's going to happen? No, it's dead. You're dead.
There you go. We'll be sending the heavies in. I'll get through to your comments in just a second. To be honest, if there weren't so many Muppets around, I'd be tempted to take calls on this. But there's just so many idiots about at this time of night. Do you know what I mean? There's so many idiots tonight. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let's go through some comments. Anthony Edwards says, honestly think Joyce doesn't have enough brain cells to realise he's being hit. Well, I'll tell you what, he's losing them in the ring. And the irony is, what is this? They keep trying to, he's supposed to be, I need to see some evidence of this, but he's supposed to be a highly intelligent individual outside of the ring, isn't it? They're sitting there parading them around with that woman from Countdown, Susie Dent. Yeah. They're parading Joe Joyce around, aren't they? With this woman from Countdown, Susie Dent. The rather lovely Susie Dent from Countdown, in my humble opinion. They've got Joe Joyce parading around here doing advertisements with the lovely Susie Dent from Countdown. There's all this stuff about how Joe Joyce has got a degree. He's a very, very good artist. He's a very, very good painter. Yeah, look, the man's supposed to be extremely intelligent. The man's supposed to be fucking, an extremely intelligent individual. I've got a lot of time for Joe Joyce. As an individual, I like him. But my point is this, and I'll get onto your guys first. If you get in a ring with someone like a Deontay Wilder, for example, which isn't going to happen, right? But hypothetically speaking, if you get in a ring like a Deontay Wilder, it's just going to end in tears. You need to build this stuff in now. That's just my opinion. You need to build this stuff in now. You need to build in that defense now. You don't just wait until he gets in the ring with an Anthony Joshua or an Alexander Usyk and then suddenly expect this guy to find some kind of defense when you need it. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Do you think my comments are fair? Because nobody with a fucking brain in their head's been fooled by this Joe Joyce shit. I see this fool has gone and removed the Juggernaut suit. Remember this crap? Remember this?
I'll tell you one thing, it must be some size helmet.
Big plant pot, innit? I see Big Plant Pot remove that plant pot that Sam Jones went and got him from fucking home base. Sam Jones walking up to home base, before he fought. Who did he fight with that? Is that Takami fought? And he had Sam Jones run to home base and get him a plant pot to put on his head. And everybody started telling him he's Juggernaut. Who is advising this man? Who is advising this man? Who is giving this man advice? Who is giving this man technical advice? And who is giving this man life advice? Whoever advised him on that girlfriend, 10 out of 10. Whoever advised Joe Joyce to start dating that girlfriend, 10 out of 10. She is absolutely A-star level. I mean, we're talking A-star level. And guys coming at me talking about Michelle Joy Phelps. And I keep telling you, man, don't talk about Marks and Spencers, right? And ever put Marks and Spencers in the same breath as Aldi Bargain Bucket. And that's all I've got to say about that. But where's Joe Joyce's life advice coming from? I mean, I see he ditched a plant pot tonight. Fair enough. Joe Joyce no longer walking around with a plant pot on his head. Do you know what the funny thing is? If he got in the ring and put this plant pot on his damn head, he'd probably end up seeing punches a lot better than what you saw tonight. I mean, he couldn't see that right hand at all tonight.
I'll tell you one thing, it must be some size helmet.
Fuck me. I mean, it's fucking nonsense. It's fucking nonsense, isn't it? You know? And my boss, everybody knows my boss, Frank Warren, yeah? My boss, Frank Warren. He coming out now and he's saying, look, Joseph Parker's the B-side. We don't care about Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker's from New Zealand. Well, hold on a minute, Frank. With all due respect, you could have thrown a fucking hand grenade in there tonight and it wouldn't have killed nobody. You could have thrown a whole hand grenade in there tonight and it wouldn't have killed nobody. Al-Qaeda, you know what I mean? They just think, fuck this. We're not turning up to events like this. You won't have to worry about any terrorist attacks happening at a Joe Joyce fight, would you? Fucking Al-Qaeda just rock up with a vest and just say, do you know what? Forget this. We'll come back another time, innit? We'll come back when it's more busy. Do you know what I mean? Rocking up, innit? Al-Qaeda rocking up. They say, nah, fuck it. We'll come back when it's busy. We'll come back when it's busy. But he out here talking about Joe Joyce is from New Zealand. Joseph Parker is from New Zealand. We don't care about him. He's not the A-side. It's all about Joe Joyce. Yeah? I need to see Joe Joyce get a defense. Mr. Boxing Today says, Ultra, is it fair to say Joyce is a better version of Dave Allen? Well, look. What people need to understand is a lot of boxing is physical. So boxing's physical. People need to understand. I keep saying it. All this shit about boxing's a fucking chess match. And all this bullshit that people who don't box come out with nonsense. Boxing's a chess match, mate. It's mainly these idiot journalists. It's mainly these moronic journalists who have never put gloves on, who come out with all these fantasies about boxing, some kind of magical. And what's the other one? Boxing IQ. You've heard about this nonsense. Boxing IQ. And they think like you can overcome somebody with the physicality, the bone density, the punching power, yeah, of Joe Joyce with this boxing IQ. These people are fucking, you know, that's what they think. So boxing is physical. And at the end of the day, Joe Joyce is, you have to say, I mean, he's physically gifted, isn't he? He's physically gifted. There's no question about it. But just because you're physically gifted doesn't mean you shouldn't adhere or make an effort to learn or have people around you that are going to push you to learn the fundamentals of the sport. Joe Joyce, to me, is a walking disaster. He's an accident waiting to happen. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Do you guys agree with me? Let's do a poll. Hold on. Let's do the poll. My bad. Let's do this poll. Is Joe Joyce a disaster waiting to happen? Yes or no? There you go. You can vote in the poll right now. Is Joe Joyce a disaster waiting to happen? I just think he is. I don't give a shit about the Daniel Dubois fight. I think he is. I think here's what it is. Let's have a look. Crazy D3 says, if Fury's still banned from America, I believe he is, maybe Fury versus Joyce next. I mean, why would they need... I don't know. It could be a good fight. I mean, you feel Fury could make that fight as easy as he wants, didn't he? That Fury and Joe Joyce fight is all about, is Fury going to try and entertain the crowd and try and do something and actually try and put a dent in Joyce? Or is Fury just going to go on the back foot? If Fury goes on the back foot, it's just... Fury versus Joe Joyce. Let me tell you this now, right? If Fury versus Joe Joyce and Fury goes on the back foot and says, you know what, I'm just going to ping this guy's head off all night, get out of the ring, take the money and come back here for Usyk or AJ. Do you know how embarrassing that fight will look? Exactly. Do just fucking ping him behind the jab for 12, grab him, spin him around, and that's it. And everybody afterwards will be complaining about it, saying, I can't believe that was pay-per-view. Yeah, on paper, it's a good fight. I don't have a problem with the fight. But that fight depends on what Fury wants to do. If Fury decides he wants to come and entertain and come and try and get the knockout, you know, Sugar Hill's got him with all this, you know, we're Kronk Jim, we always go for the knockout. If Fury wants to come for the knockout, it's going to be entertaining. But if Fury decides to sit on the back foot behind the jab and just pin Joe Joyce on the way in, it's going to be a joke fight. It's going to be a Mickey Mouse fight. It's going to look like something out of the Benny Hill show. And that's just my opinion on it. But I could be wrong. Do you know what I mean? But it's just going to look like something out of the. It's just going to look like something out of the out of the Benny Hill show. That's my opinion. Let's have a look. King OP says, "What's the expectation, Ultra? Can he pick up the hand, but he won't be any of the top 4? Listen, but he's not. Listen, let me tell you something, right? He's not even trying. And again, it's the coaching team that should be on him about that. That is something that you can drill that in. Listen, you can draw that into any fighter. You can draw that in. You can draw that in with Joe Joyce, man. You can draw that into Joe Joyce. Pick up the left hand. Be snappy on your jab. Should I tell you something? What Ishmael Salas said to him tonight in the corner? Ishmael Salas told him to mix up the jab, right? And what he means by that, when Ishmael Salas tells Joe Joyce, yeah, to mix up the jab, what he means by that is, yeah, if you mix up the jab in the way that Ishmael Salas was telling him to do, so you go hard jab, soft jab, hard jab, soft jab. If you vary the jab, vary the pace of the jab, and vary the speed of your jab, yeah, it fucks with the opponent's timing. So if it makes sense, instead of teaching Joe Joyce how to actually defend himself, they were still trying to use Joe Joyce's offense as his defense. They were trying to throw off Christian Hammer's right hand and trying to throw off his timing by varying the speed on the jab. And that's why Ishmael Salas told him, look, you need to vary the jab, touch him up with the jab, touch him up with the jab. You touch him up with the jab, and you're not throwing the same jab at the same speed. You're not always pushing it, and you're not always leaving your left hand out. Then the opponent is going to have a much harder time timing you with that overhand right. So again, they're trying to fix basic defensive errors by just telling him to do things differently offensively. I'm not sure. I'm just not a fan of it. You know, I'm not a fan of it. The correct way is this, right? And again, for those of you who think I'm fucking around, I mean, what was it? Someone said, "Oh, Joe Joyce." Have you seen the sparring between Joyce and Babbage? Have you seen this yet? I mean, Alan Babbage, right? We all know Alan Babbage. Alan Babbage is a guy who's getting hit by getting hurt in fights by small heavyweights or small cruiserweights or whatever. Yeah. Have you seen this sparring with Babbage and Joyce? I mean, it's unbelievable. It's more of the same, isn't it? It's just, look. It's more, if you see this sparring, it's just unbelievable. And look at that. Look, look, I just played a fight. And look, within 5 seconds, Joe Joyce getting hit with an overhand right. You see what I'm saying? Look at this stuff. Bang, nailed with it. Do you see it? You guys think I make this shit up? I don't. Bang, nailed with the overhand right by Babbage. I just put the video anywhere, and it's the same shot he's always getting hit with. Look at the position of his left hand here, and look at Babbage's. I mean, it's just fucking hell. It's just shocking. It's shocking. It really is shocking. And I'm just saying, look, let's say Northern Monkey. Joe is physically gifted, yes, but fat aneurism would be a nightmare for him. Listen, I agree with you, Storm Raptor. Joyce is fun to watch. I agree too. Listen, I can see why you would think Joyce is fun to watch. I've got no problem with Joe Joyce on a personal level. I can agree with you to a degree. But for me, like I said before, when I think of boxers, yeah, and I think of the career of a boxer, the punishment they take in the ring, yeah, the punishment they take in the ring. I just think, look, it's better to be safe than sorry. That's my opinion on it. And I would just question, in closing, look, I would heavily question what's going on in those training camps, you know? I don't think it's ever a good thing for fighters to take punches that they don't have to take. And Joe Joyce, you can see in sparring, he's taken unnecessary shots in sparring, and he's taken unnecessary shots in the ring. And yeah, he's got a great chin, but still, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know, we're not there to rely on our chin. That's why we have defense, right? We're not there to rely on our chin. We're not there to rely on our chin. Samuel Harrison says, Ultra, who has the better defense? Joe Joyce or BlueDorag, man? It might be BlueDorag, man, you know. It really might be BlueDorag. It really might be, you know. Let me tell you, who do you think? Let me get this up. Who do you think's got a better defense? Joe Joyce or BlueDorag? Let's have a look. This is BlueDorag. Let's have a look at BlueDorag. But the thing about BlueDorag is, BlueDorag feints. Joe Joyce don't even feint. Look at BlueDorag. Look. At least BlueDorag's giving me some feints. Look. BlueDorag giving me some feints, man. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at BlueDorag. BlueDorag's giving me some feints in there. At the minute, I'm leaning towards BlueDorag. Look, there you go. Look, there you go. BlueDorag gave me a feint there. Listen, I can't remember the last time I saw Joe Joyce feint. When was the last time we see Joe Joyce throw a feint in the boxing ring? I've never seen it. Have you ever seen, there you go, another one, look. And look, there, no, it's BlueDorag. There you go. There you go. Look at this, look. BlueDorag, look, even BlueDorag's avoiding them right hands. Even BlueDorag's avoiding them right hands. Yeah, okay. I'm going with BlueDorag. Let's look at the poll. You asked me the question, I'm giving you the answer. Because that's a left hook, so that don't count. By the way, you guys are saying BlueDorag, but that's a left hook, so that don't count. So we're not counting that from BlueDorag, okay? Because that's a left hook. But if you look at who defends right hands better, BlueDorag or Joe Joyce? Okay, I'm going with BlueDorag. Let me know who you think. Jack Plant says, imagine those shots landing if that was Wilder. It's all right saying he's got a good... Do you know what someone said? I think it was that Muppet Steve Bunce. With all due respect, Steve Bunce, look... Steve Bunce looked in the camera and said, but if Joe Joyce fought Wilder, he would fight different. Like, these guys are fucking delusional. They actually believe that Joe Joyce could get in the ring with Deontay Wilder. And all these bad habits that he's been doing for the past 2, 3, 4 years in his professional boxing career, he's going to get in the ring with the biggest puncher in the sport of boxing, and suddenly he's all going to... Are you fucking kidding me? And this is what I'm saying. People can have a go at me all they want. All I'm going to tell you is the truth. These commentators, pundits, and guys in the media take you for an idiot. I'm just being honest with you. They take you for an idiot. Do you know nobody in boxing, nobody who actually works in boxing, who makes a living from boxing, who trains boxers, nobody would hear a comment like that and not think that comment was suspect. Nobody. They don't say it. They don't say it on Twitter in public. But behind closed doors, it's a different story. It's laughable, isn't it, Steve Bunce? Oh, but you know, if Joyce fought Wilder, he'd fight completely differently because, you know, he would step around to his right-hand side. What the fuck are you on about? Does anybody here press 7 if you agree with Steve Bunce? Press 7 if you agree with Steve Bunce. That if Joe Joyce got in the ring with Deontay Wilder, his defense would improve because he would fight differently. He would somehow step it up and be better defensively. Press 7 if you agree with Steve Bunce on that. We have got 160 people in the chat and only 35 likes. Hit the like button, please. Or else.
What's going to happen now? It's dead. You're dead.
I really do need to get another mem, but it is what it is. I just love that mem in a minute. That's the mem that I absolutely love. Do you know what I mean? Let's have a look. I don't know. And that's just my opinion. I think a lot of these pundits, and this is the thing about this channel, right? I get a lot of flack for telling you stuff. If I feel like this, right? And I'll leave it at this. I feel like if you listen to the stuff that I say, I don't think there's anybody really who's a professional boxer or professional boxing coach or somebody who works in boxing who has a brain, right? who listens to what I've said tonight about Joe Joyce's defense, who listens to what I've said tonight about the need to protect yourself at all times. This is what I'm saying. These people, these media, these idiots in the media, they tell you stuff like, well, you've got to protect yourself at all times. And then 2 seconds later, these same muppets are telling you, whoa, hold on a minute. Joe Joyce doesn't have to have a defense because he's got 4 times the normal bone density of an average man. Which one is it, you muppets? Which one is it? You don't box. You don't go to the boxing gym. You've never stepped in one. You don't put gloves on. You sit there with your shitty pens and write your shitty articles all day and fucking spend all day on Twitter licking the arse of boxers and licking the arse of trainers for your interviews. And you come out of all these fucking sound bites like, well, you've got to protect yourself at all times. And then 2 seconds later, you'll be in the ring going, saying shit like, well, Joe Joyce doesn't need to pick his left hand up. It's all right if he takes right hand off the right hand. It don't matter because he's got big bone density. Well, which one is it, you muppets? Which one is it? This is what I'm saying. People in boxing laugh at these muppets. I promise you. Not out in public. But behind closed doors, I'm telling you for a fact, people in boxing look at these individuals. They look at these people in the media. They look at the comments they make. They look at these pundits. And I'm not being funny. They even look at some of these people on YouTube and they fucking laugh at these people. They laugh at these people. They laugh at them. And then I just come out and be real. I just come out and tell it how it is and say, look, I'm telling you how it is. This is how it is. And people attack me. I get attacked for it. They're attacking me for saying that Joe Joyce should be protecting himself in the ring because boxing's a dangerous sport. Apparently, I'm public enemy number 1 for doing that. I'm public enemy number 1 for saying that it's a team's responsibility to make sure that their fighter is protected. I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. But you know what it is. You know, we all know how it ends up. We all know how it ends up. Daniel Campbell says, these boxing reporters are doing a job most boxing fans, casual or not, could do potentially. But I agree. I agree with it. I really don't understand. And I think, like I said before, I think the reason why, to me, I shouldn't be the only one saying this. That's all. That's the point I'm trying to make. Does that make sense? I shouldn't be the only one coming out and saying that Joe Joyce's team, whoever's got him with him, is an absolute disgrace for letting him get into the ring and get continuously hit like that, in sparring and fighting. And that someone needs to read him the right act and tell him, as you step up the levels, anybody can get hurt at any point in a boxing ring. And even if you don't get hurt in a fight, it's not good for your brain. It's not good for your career after boxing to get punched in the head that much. But nobody will say it. Nobody will say it in that way. What are they saying? Oh, it doesn't matter. Joe Joyce is a fun fighter to watch. Oh, it's okay what's going on. Oh, it's great. And how can Carl Frampton and Richie Woodhall, to be fair, Richie Woodhall was a bit scathing tonight. But how can Carl Frampton and Richie Woodhall watch a fighter walk into right hands like that, right hand after that, right hand after that, and just pass that over? Do you know what I mean, though? Like, how can that happen? Just think of the concept of that. I don't know. And I'm supposed to be a shill for Frank Warren and BT. That's the funniest thing. I'm supposed to be a shill for Frank Warren and BT Sport. That's the funny thing. But I'm one of the only people out there who will say what's going on in Joe Joyce's corner is a disgrace. But I'm supposed to be a homer for fucking BT Sport and Frank Warren. What the fuck? Doesn't make no sense, does it? Exactly, little kid. People lose stamina by hitting Joyce too much in the head. Titus Augustus says, which begs the question, the reason why Daniel Dubois lost to Joe Joyce, let me tell you something right now. Daniel Dubois can beat Joe Joyce. I'm not saying he will beat Joe Joyce. Daniel Dubois can beat Joe Joyce. If Daniel Dubois doesn't fall in love with his power and says, right, I'm going to box the points, and boxes off the jab and right hand, he can beat Joe Joyce in a decision. It'd be tough, but I think it's possible he can do it. But he has to go in with the mindset of points. And he has to go in there with the mindset of pacing himself. And Daniel Dubois, at the minute, what I've seen, doesn't have that in him. Daniel Dubois, again, we criticised Daniel Dubois last week, or a couple of weeks ago, for his performance against Trevor Bryan. I criticised Daniel Dubois, pushing his punches, no defence, no head movement. I criticised Daniel Dubois for the same thing. But Joyce is on the next level. Joyce is on the next level. You chat rubbish. Give Joyce credit he deserves. Thank you very much, Merc Danable. Thank you, sir. Merc Danable. You chat rubbish. Give Joyce credit he deserves. And then when Joyce gets fucking schooled by Fury, or when Joyce gets schooled by Usyk, dudes like this disappear. This is what happens. Dudes like this disappear. When Joyce gets fucking schooled, you never see these accounts again. These fucking magic accounts just fucking poof and they're gone. All these magic accounts, innit? Yeah, I'll give Joyce credit. And then when Joyce gets schooled over 12 rounds by Usyk, yeah, and gets pinged non-stop for 12 rounds, like he did in the WSB, they got pinged around in the WSB, or when he gets pinged around by Fury, Joyce gonna be, can't believe they let Joe Joyce get in with Fury. That's a mismatch. Do you know what it is? Do you know what it feels like? They're talking to these Muppets. It feels like, do you remember the TV show The Magic Roundabout when we were kids? No, we used to watch The Magic Roundabout when we were kids. You look on the screen. It's like being on The Magic Roundabout with these Muppets. It's like, yo, you haven't given Dillian White. Remember we were criticising Dillian White? And we're saying, fuck me, Dillian White's defence is dreadful. Dillian White has some of the worst balance I've ever seen on a fighter. Why would you ever think Dillian White has a chance with Tyson Fury? Have you seen Dillian White's balance? The one thing you need to close distance on a tall guy with that height and that reach advantage is quickness of feet and balance. Oh, Ultratech, you're a hater. You're not giving Dillian White no credit. Ultratech, you're a hater. You're not giving Dillian no credit. Listen, Dillian's my best friend. Dillian's my best friend. Dillian's my best friend. I've got this feeling that Dillian's going to do it. That Dillian's my best friend. And then what happens? Guy goes in the ring, doesn't land a punch, he gets cleaned out in 6 rounds. And then what happens? Accounts go poof. It's like being on a magic roundabout, going around in circles over and over again, isn't it? It's the magic roundabout, man. It is the magic roundabout. Joe Fitness says, I'd love to see you in the ring, bro. You talk mad heavy. What do I talk mad heavy about? What? Just use your brain. What am I talking mad heavy about? I'm talking mad heavy because I'm saying I've got better defense than Joe Joyce. I box, I spar. I've never had a fight. I can tell you right now, I might get cleaned out in a round by anybody. I'm telling you right now, categorically, I have better defense than Joe Joyce. 100%. I can block a right hand better than Joe Joyce can. 100% fact. 100% fact. Am I as good as Joe? I'm shit. Anybody could beat me. Anybody could knock me out. But I tell you this now, if you want to talk about defense and avoiding punches, no, I'm sorry. I can avoid a right hand better than Joe Joyce. Absolutely, I can. Absolutely. I'm sorry, I'm just going to tell you how it is. But apparently I'm talking mad heavy. Bro, how am I talking mad heavy? I'm talking mad heavy because I'm saying that Joe Joyce needs to protect himself in the boxing ring so that he has some form of brain cells so that he can go and have a nice life after boxing. Do you understand how these people think? I'm talking mad heavy because I'm saying that Joe Joyce should protect himself in the ring at all times and shouldn't leave his chin out to dry. So apparently, because I'm saying that, I'm talking mad heavy. Because I'm saying that you need to protect yourself every time you go in the boxing ring. I've been in boxing rings for 7 years. I've been in boxing gyms for 7 years, 8 years. I would never, ever see somebody do that in the ring and not tell them to defend themselves. Are you mad? Apparently, I'm talking mad heavy. You guys let me know what you think. Ultratech's talking mad heavy because he's telling guys to protect himself in the ring. Oh my God. He's telling guys to protect themselves in the ring and not get hurt and not take unnecessary punishment. He talking mad nonsense. This man, Ultra, he think he's bad. Who does he think he is, like? Who does this guy think he is? Telling boxers that they need to protect themselves when they get in the ring. Who does this guy think he is? Who does this guy think he is? Titus Augustus says, some of you guys are liking the Magic Round. It's just stupid, man. I don't know what to say. Vanguards of Manhood said, Joyce looks to have cognitive issues already, which is why he has 0 defense. Samuel Harrison says, I must have missed the part where you were talking mad heavy, where you said you would knock out Joe Joyce within round 1. It's just stupid. It is, like I said, these people are stupid, but it's always the same, isn't it? It's going to be Dillian White. It's going to be Dillian White all over again with these people. Honestly, it's going to be Dillian White all over again with these people. This guy's going to get completely clowned in a boxing ring, and the people are going to turn around and say, "Do you know what? Ultra is right the whole time, and this guy needs to start picking his hands up." Peter Von Ark says Joe Joyce can't box. I'm just being honest. Like, listen, great guy. I like Joe Joyce, good guy, but it is what it is. Get me your last comments and I'll read them out. Bacon the next says, we live in a sensitive world where simple opinions are offensive. The one thing that gets me about these people, right? They're all like, it's so funny, like, I've never acted like a tough guy, right? Never. I've never acted like a tough guy, never said I can do this, never said I can do that. It's always people that are coming at me are acting like tough guys, right? You'd think tough guys, all these tough guys that are in the comment section, who obviously know more about boxing than me, you think like a simple thing like protecting yourself in the ring, they clock onto that, but they don't, do they? Just tells you, when I hear these comments, I know you've never been in a boxing gym. I know. You've never been in a boxing ring. That's my opinion. Never been in one, man. Samuel Harrison says, what about Dillian's magical left hook? Well, we don't hear about Dillian left hook no more, do we? They got disappearing act, didn't it? Disappearing act. We never hear about Dillian White left hook no more. It is what it is. Let's have a look at some of the comments on Twitter quickly about Joe Joyce's performance. I just think, look, it is what it is. Got hit far too much. This guy's going to be a serious problem in the heavyweight division. Yeah, I think he will be. Tyson Fury, no, is the clown. Will never be a world champion. There's no shame in that. I think there's some good fighters around there. If you call AJ is a robot, then Joe Joyce is a statue. Do you know what? It's so funny. Like Anthony Joshua's been criticised for his defense, but my God, Anthony Joshua and Joe Joyce. Anthony Joshua is levels above Joe Joyce. Would you agree with that? I honestly, I know Joe Joyce has an engine, right? And I know Joe Joyce has a heart, right? But would you agree with me that Anthony Joshua is levels above Joe Joyce? Press 1 if you agree with me on that, and press 2 if you disagree. I mean, fuck me. The levels and skill, and Anthony Joshua is no master boxer, as we saw in the Usyk fight. Anthony Joshua is no master boxer. But I mean, Anthony Joshua knows how to feint. Anthony Joshua knows how to set up his punches. You know? Skills are world apart. I mean, if you look at the Anthony Joshua who fought Ruiz, yeah, in the rematch, bounced around on his feet, kept his distance, counter-punched. We've seen Anthony Joshua counter-punch. We've seen Anthony Joshua We've seen Anthony Joshua catch and shoot, right? We've seen Anthony Joshua catch and shoot a million times. We've seen Anthony Joshua not even in the Ruiz fight, which he lost, right? Remember the first Ruiz fight where he lost, but he knocked Ruiz down heavily, right? How did he knock him down? I think he caught Ruiz and then threw the uppercut, or he caught Ruiz and threw a hook. We've seen Anthony Joshua catch and shoot throughout his career. Can bounce around a bit on his feet. Can block a shot. Can catch and shoot. And we criticise Anthony Joshua, who I've always said is overrated by his fanboys, but he is leagues above Joe Joyce. I mean, defensively, he looks like Pernell Whitaker compared to Joe Joyce. And it's just the bottom line of it, you know? It's just the bottom line. Let's have a look here. IM says, even Wilder learned how to set his punches up. I feel Wilder probably smokes everyone bar Fury. Let's do one more poll since everybody's here. Right, let's have a look here. Is Joe Joyce a disaster waiting to happen? 140 votes. I'm ending the poll. 63% of you have said yes. Let's do one more poll. This will be fun. Let's do one more poll. Who wins? Listen. Wilder or Joyce? What do you guys think? Poll is now available for you to watch. If you haven't hit the like button, we've still got 150 people in here. Only 54 likes. Absolutely disgusting. Please feel free to hit the like button if you would like to do so. I hope we can all still be friends. Consider this an olive branch from me to you. Ooh! Ooh! Remember that one? Ooh! Ultra's talking rubbish. Dillian White's going to knock out Tyson Fury. Ooh! Ooh! I'm Dillian White's best friend. I speak to Dillian all the time. He's going to beat Fury. Don't listen to Ultra Tech. He's a hater. Ooh! Where are they now? Where are they at these days? Where are they at these days? Disappeared, innit? All that crap's disappeared. Funny how that works, innit? Gone, innit? All gone. Never hear that shit no more, do you? Oh, dear. Right, let's hit the poll. Wilder so far, right? Get voting on this, right? There's still 150 of you in here, right? The poll's there. It's pinned to the top of the screen, right? Steve Bunce says that. What did Steve Bunce say? Steve Bunce said that if Joe Joyce was to fight someone like Deontay Wilder, he'd switch up. That's what Steve Bunce said, yeah? So, you give me your opinion. Who do you think wins in a fight if they were to fight, Wilder or Joe Joyce? Listen, I could see it maybe as a... Listen, you never know. You never know because, you know, Wilder don't like pressure. We know that. Wilder doesn't like being pushed back and Wilder don't like pressure. But it's hard to imagine Deontay Wilder landing clean on Joe Joyce, yeah? Which you will do. And Joyce just being able to walk through it as if nothing happened. Do you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. Like, the fundamentals of defense in boxing are really important. Because when you're getting hit by Carlos Takam and Christian Hammer, yeah? And dudes are saying, oh, Ultra, it's okay. You don't need to have a defense because you're walking through fucking Daniel Dubois punches. You're walking through Christian Hammer punches. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Wilder. It's hard for me to believe that Wilder isn't going to land clean on this man's chin. And it's hard for me to believe... Listen, he might not knock Joe Joyce out stone cold, but I can't imagine Wilder hitting Joe Joyce clean and full-blooded and Joyce just carrying on as if nothing happened. Saul West says... Bunce said he expects Joshua to do a job on Usyk. I can't tell if he's trolling. We'll talk about that another time. Oh, listen, I will tell you right now, and I'll be honest with you. If Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk was held, yeah, on a completely neutral promotion with completely neutral referees, no shenanigans, I would go Alexander Usyk to win. But I do think Anthony Joshua will turn it around in that fight. But I'll be honest with you, I'm worried. I'm very worried for him. I think Anthony Joshua might end up walking himself onto an overhand left and actually getting taken out, but we'll have to wait and see. This is terrible. Guga says, Joe's favourite movie could be Pearl Harbor because there was no defense. Mr. Video Upload said he took Dubois' punches. He did take Dubois' punches, but you have to believe Wilder's a bit different, don't you? I could be wrong on that. I thought Dubois staggered him. If you go back and watch that fight, Joe Joyce to me was buzzed several times in that fight. It wasn't like he just took Dubois' punch. There was one round where Dubois hit him with a couple of shots and you know, moved him around a bit. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, he stuck to the plan. But you've got to believe Wilder's just a bit too much, don't you? He's going to find him easy. He's not going to have to work to find him, is he? He's going to find him straight away. But we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. Right, let's wait and see. Have anybody got any other comments on Joe Joyce? Do you know what? That Solane Tete versus Cunningham knockout was absolutely brutal, was it not? Absolutely brutal. But anyway, here's what it is. If you guys have got any more comments, just put them in now and I will happily read them out. Apparently, don't listen to me. I'm a hater. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm hating on Joe Joyce. It's all my fault. It's all my fault. It's all my fault until Joe Joyce gets pinged around, yeah? And then the same people who've been criticising me are going to do what they always do. They're going to do a complete 180 and go, do you know what? I told you Joe Joyce had a bad defense. Do you know what? I told you Joe Joyce should be picking up that left hand. Who's been training Joe Joyce? That's what it's going to be. Who's been training Joe Joyce? It's a disgrace. Joe Joyce should be protecting himself in the ring. You know, protect yourself at all times. You know that's going to happen, don't you? I'm trying to stay awake here, and Little Kim starts bringing up a Coley, so I'm not going to answer that. I'm having a hard enough time staying awake as it is. So I ain't going to answer no questions about Lawrence fucking Coley. Lawrence Coley, the sleep master. Lawrence Coley out here like Ted DiBiase. Watching Lawrence Coley be like watching $1 million man, Ted DiBiase. He'd be out here putting people in sleeper holds. Poor. staying awake during the Coley fight. That last fight I watched on DAZN was shocking. He's signing for Sky, and Coley trying to get out of his deal with Matchroom, is he not? Am I right in that? Hit one of them right, hit two of them wrong. Does it not seem like Coley trying to get out of that Matchroom deal? Matchroom sending legal letters to Matchroom out here sending legal letters to Ben Shalom, innit? Telling him to stop tapping up for Coley, because I think Coley wants to get out of Matchroom. Coley wants to get out of Matchroom. Listen, if Ben Shalom, wants to offer the $1 million man, Lawrence Coley, if he wants to offer the $1 million man, Lawrence Coley, a shit ton of money, that's up to him. Jesus Christ, he actually putting people in sleepers. That fight he had on, what was that fight he had on DAZN? It was awful. You know what? Quick bit of DAZN bashing before we go, just for the lols. Do you know DAZN pay-per-view in the UK? Do you know what's coming to DAZN pay-per-view in the UK? Jesus Christ. Can you fucking believe this stuff? It's at this point, the jokes just write themselves. To be honest, I'm just laying off DAZN in a minute because it's such a clown show. Just can't be bothered anymore. I'm not really bothered if they succeed or not succeed, but at this point, to be honest, I think it's just getting genuinely sad. KSI will face Alex Wasabi in his next fight on August the 27th at the O2 Arena. A leaked press release has revealed KSI has partnered with DAZN for a new series of crossover boxing events. KSI versus Wasabi with Deji on the undercard will be on DAZN pay-per-view in the UK and the US. Bro, all I'll say is this, man. I don't know if DAZN will make it. At this point, I don't really care, right? But can somebody honestly tell me? Do you remember? Do you remember when I criticised DAZN 4 years ago for saying they were going to be the end of pay-per-view? Do you remember that? Press 1 if you remember 4 or 5 years ago, me getting death threats and me getting threatened by people. These same people that are saying I'm a hater don't listen to me, right? Do you remember I was getting threatened by people for saying that DAZN were talking out of their backsides when they were saying that they were going to be the end of pay-per-view? Do you not find it funny? Did I not also say that in 2 or 3 years' time would prove me right, and that those same people would have to admit they were wrong, yeah? Well, fuck me. How do you go, from claiming to be the end of pay-per-view to doing KSI versus Alex Wasabi on pay-per-view? Can you see what I mean? I mean, you're not even opening up with Canelo. It's crazy, isn't it? You're not even opening up pay-per-view with Canelo. You're bringing pay-per-view to the UK with KSI versus Alex Wasabi. After running around in an open-top bus, look at this stuff. Look at this. Again, I'll say it again. Open-top bus ride in London with Maya Jama getting her baps out for everybody to see. Open top bus in London. Look at this here. Look, you can see it there. Game change. Look. Open top bus in London. Maya Jama getting her baps out. Eddie Hearn and Tony Bellew running around. The game is changed. And look what we've been delivered. They call this game changed. KSI versus Alex Wasabi on pay-per-view. Game changed. But again, I am the problem in boxes. It's all Ultra's fault. It's all Ultra's fault. It's all Ultra's fault. It's all Ultra Tech's fault. It's all Ultra Tech's fault. It is what it is. You know, it is what it is. All those people who were sending me threats. Oh, we're going to do this to you. We're going to do that to you. We know where you live. Oh, all this stuff. We know where you live. We know this person. We know that person. We're going to do this to you. You never hear from them no more, do you? Now that this drizzle's been served up, never hear from them, do you? It's funny how that works. I just think it's a joke. One thing I will quickly say before I go is, does anybody care about Tommy Fury and Jake Paul? I just think the whole thing's a joke. I'll be honest with you. Does anybody here think Tommy Fury is scared of Jake Paul? I'll be honest with you and give you my opinion. I do not. I do not think Tommy Fury is scared of Jake Paul at all. At all. That's me. I know some people genuinely believe that. And these same people believe that Jake Paul's a genuine knockout artist. My opinion is I do not believe that Tommy Fury is scared of Jake Paul and is afraid to fight him. I believe that Tommy Fury can't go to the United States because he's part of an organization that has links to Daniel Cunningham. As simple as that. That's me. That's what I believe. If you look on Twitter and if you look on the internet, you'll see something completely different. But apparently you'll hear something different. But for me, it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. But I do not believe that Tommy Fury is scared of Jake Paul at all. I believe that he's got links to Daniel Cunningham, and I believe that the only way that fight can happen is in the UK. That's my opinion. Martin Butler says, I want to see Tommy Fury versus Jake Paul out of curiosity. Listen, if you look at... we'll see. I'm not convinced about that whole thing. I'm not convinced that fight was ever really on from the beginning. I'm not convinced about the whole thing. I think, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. Jack Plant says Fury should beat Paul or pack it in. Well, he can't fight him, can he? Because the fight can only take place in America, and Tommy Fury can't get over there. So there's not going to be a fight, is there, unless Tommy Fury can get over there. Simple as that, isn't it? It's that simple. It's got nothing to do. I don't know why people thought, oh, he's scared. What's he scared of? What's he scared of? He gets $2 million. If you lose, you lose. He'd be scared. I don't think he's scared of Jake Paul. I think he wants to go over there. I just don't think he can go over there. I think Jake Paul's fucking not stupid, you know. Jake Paul knows he can't come over to America. All this bullshit, what's he got to do? All he's got to do is go to the embassy. Have you heard this shit? All he's got to do is go to the embassy. Okay. All Tommy Fury's got to do is go to the embassy, and this will all be solved in 24 hours. Tommy, you've got 48 hours to solve this, or I'm pulling out of this fight. You've had your chance. I'm so surprised that people can't see what's going on here. To be honest, I'm really surprised that people can't see what's going on. Tommy, you've got to go to the embassy. You've got 48 hours to sort this out. Otherwise, the fight's off. I'm pulling out. people fall for this shit. Like, oh my God, Tommy Fury's really scared. Tommy's scared of Jake Paul. He don't want this fight. Tommy's scared. Jesus fucking Christ. Tell you what, it's fucking very strange to go and sign a contract for $2 million for a fight that you're scared of. When half your family can't go to the US because you're linked to Irish gangsters. It is what it is. It is what it is. The stupidity the stupidity that I see is mind-boggling. I've always said it before. If you ever want to know in life why we have a 2% that runs everything and a 98% that are complete morons, right? Start a YouTube channel. I promise you. Start a YouTube channel or start a Twitter page. If you want to know the reason why you have a 2% of people who actually get things done, who actually produce, and then you have a 98% of bums who want everything for free. Start a YouTube, start a Twitter. I promise you. And you'll quickly understand. This channel made me understand a lot about how the world works. Because you read things, right, and you think, yeah, come on, no one's that fucking stupid. And then you actually go online, oh my God, actually people are that fucking stupid. Like, the everyday man is really fucking stupid. You know, the everyday man, the everyday man is fucking stupid, you know? It is what it is, and that's what we laugh about all day on Twitter, behind the scenes. That's what we laugh about all day behind the scenes. Everyday man stupid. The everyday man walks around in one of these. Like, let me quickly show you before we go. All right? I'm going to give you a secret to success here. This is what the everyday man does, right? This is what the 98% do, right? 98% of people on this planet go out and spend between 70 to 150 pounds a year on these things, right? Between 70 to 150 pounds a year on these things. They'll buy the home shirt, the away shirt, the shorts and the socks, and they'll walk around, right? They think they're part of the team. They'll then get a printed number put on the back of it. Ronaldo 7, De Jong, fucking whatever. Well, yeah, you might not get a De Jong one, that's a different story. They'll then get a printed number walking on the back. They'll then spend every waking hour of their day on their phone looking up for news about their football club. Well, who are we signing? Who are we getting? They're not getting paid anything. They're not making any money. They're not getting paid anything. They're not getting any money. They'll waste every waking hour of day on Twitter. Who are we signing? Who are we getting? Then they'll turn up to a big stadium with 70,000 other morons and sit and scream at these fucking 22 blokes running around kicking the ball. Scream abuse, chuck coins. What do they do at these games? They scream abuse, chuck coins, protest outside. These Muppets, look at this. These Muppets. I can't spell, so I'm a Muppet as well. Look at these Muppets. These Muppets will even turn up. They won't protest against the cost of living crisis, which I don't really care about, but they won't protest about the cost of living crisis. Gas prices going up, electric prices going up, cost of food going up. They won't protest about that. But if the Glazers don't put any money into Man United for a season, yeah, after spending $1 billion, get the fucking smoke out. Get the fucking smoke out. You're ruining our club. You're ruining our club. This is a disgrace. Glazers out. Glazers out. Look at this. Look at these people. Yo. This is the reason why you have a 90% and a 2%. The internet is a fucking fascinating social experiment. If you ever want to know why we have a 2% of the population who actually produce and get things done, and a 98% who don't and actually try to leech and leverage off the 2%, the internet's a great thing to do. You see how people spend their hours, see how people spend the hours of their time. It's very interesting, you know. Next time you go on Twitter, think about that. Think about how many hours in a day people are spending and what are they spending their time on. I promise you this now. It's not getting jobs. It's not doing job searches. It's not learning skills. It's not doing anything like that. It's something completely and utterly different. Exactly. It's something completely utterly different. It's mainly arguing with me about DAZN, but that's a different story. All right. Exactly. Well, yeah. I follow you for the political satire, which is a dying art form. Well, we can't do much of those anymore. I mean, it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. It is what it is. But Ultra, and by the way, I am not in the 2% at all. But Ultra, if you can see all this and understand the 2% versus the 19%, why are you not in the top? Okay, so the reason why I'm not in the top 2% is because I'm a Muppet. The reason why I'm not in the top 2%, right, is because tonight, instead of code reviewing, right, and actually doing something meaningful with my time, that's actually going to fucking produce, right? I'm spending my time basically explaining to people that taking punches in a boxing ring unnecessarily is not good for your health. So think of this as like I'm a social worker. I've always said this, like I think of myself as a social worker. Care in the community, right? See, if I was surrounded, no, and I'm not being disrespectful to you, to the regulars in the chat, right? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? If I was surrounded by 2%ers, this is how this conversation would have gone, right? Yo, you shouldn't go in a boxing ring and take unnecessary punishment because it's not good for your health. You know what, Ultra? That is an absolutely fantastic point. That's a great point, basically based on health and safety and science. That is a fantastic point. You make tremendous sense. Right, what are we having for dinner? Right? That should be it, right? But when you're mixing with 98%ers, right, it's a completely different conversation. When you're mixing with people like this, Glazers out, right? It's a different conversation. Oh, you're a hater. No, you're a hater. He don't need to take. He doesn't need. Joe Joyce doesn't need to fucking defend himself. What are you talking about? You're an idiot. You're not. I know where you live. You're a moron. Joe Joyce don't need to defend himself. Have you heard about his bone density? Have you heard about Joe Joyce's bone density? Did you know that he's got 4 times stronger bones than the average man? Yeah. Joe Joyce based like the light-skinned version of Wolverine. He's made of adamantium. It don't matter. Joe Joyce don't need to defend himself. What are you talking about, you hater? What are you hating on Dillian White for? What are you hating on Dillian White for? He gonna beat Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's been running from Dillian White. Dillian White's the can man. Dillian White's the can man. He stands at the arena. He stands in the edge. Ooh, he's the can man. I I know Dillian. He's one of my best friends. Do you understand? That's why, okay, that's why I'm in a 2. That's why I'm in the 98%. That's why I'm in the 98%. If I was in a 2%, I wouldn't be having these stupid conversations. I won't be having these stupid conversations with stupid people. Because we're in fucking... That's why. So I'm just as bad. This truth be told. I'm just as bad. The difference with me is, I know that I'm a muppet. And I don't blame my problems on Glazers out. Glazers out. There's the... Everything in my life that's going wrong is Glazers. I need to get the Glazers out. Glazers out. I know that the Glazers aren't the cause of my problems. I know that Boris Johnson isn't the cause of my problems, isn't it? I am the cause of my problems. Yeah, the cause of my problems is me. KSI and Alex Wasabi, yeah, on DAZN pay-per-view isn't causing me problems. Do you know what I mean? It's my fault. But I can accept it, admit it's my fault. That's the difference. I hope I've answered your question there. Righty-ho. BJC says, Dunning-Kruger is real in you, son. You're dumb as hell. Well, I must have done pretty well to become a software developer, full-time working from home while being done. Thank you very much. I'll think about you. I know you'll be on the fucking London Underground. Probably first thing on a Monday morning. I'd imagine you'll be walking down a piss-soaked Baker Street station, probably with your snout in some 50-year-old man's armpits. I bet you smelt your fair share of links and right guard. You know, first thing in the morning on that Underground, stinks of piss everywhere. Probably walking through puddles of vomit. You know, head in your armpits of some smelly old bloke. You know, probably going on the way to do the day shift at Sports Direct. You know. And then obviously after you finish slagging me off, do you know what I mean? I'll be back on social media, slagging off the Tory, evil Tories. Them Tories. Them Tories. It's the Tories' fault. Get the Tories out. Get the Tories out. It's Olger's fault. Hammer didn't have a chance. They scrambled to find somebody when Parker cut bait. It is what it is. Hammer nearly pulled the upset. No, he did not. If you talk such nonsense again, I will ban you. Hammer was never in the fight, but he done well. He done well. I mean, Christian Hammer went the distance with Frank Sanchez, so fair play. Now, Christian Hammer is not what he used to be, but he's a decent fighter, and he stopped David Price, didn't he? Who remembers when he stopped David Price on ITV box office? Hey, who remembers that? It is what it is, isn't it? All right, guys, that is it for today. It's good to know that I remain as unpopular as ever. I tell you what, right? If I'm unpopular pointing out obvious things about Joe Joyce's defense, Jesus Christ, can you imagine when I really start pointing out the unpopular stuff? Bloody hell. It could be absolutely unbelievable, wouldn't it? We'll have to see what happens. I've just got a message here from Mickey Helliott. Mickey Helliott wants to come back on the show. Do you know what, honestly? I want to tell Mickey Helliott, stop wasting your time coming on here, to be honest. It's just full of idiots. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. So Mickey Helliott's doing well. Shout out to Mark Tibbs. So I'm just checking through my Twitter page. And a little thing with Mark Tibbs. Snoop Bob says, rant over. Get them meds. Been off meds for donks, mate. Donks. I haven't touched them for ages, actually. I've been doing quite well, actually. Here's what it is. That Tete knockout. Do you think we can quickly show it or not? Oh, here we go. Anti-Brexit. Brexit costing 4% of GDP and trade down 15% for stock. Conservatives are useless, you sausage. It's all Brexit. You're going to get all FPB on me. I see these lot, you know, these FPB people. They're fucking lunatics. Hold on. They get all pro-EU on me. One of these muppets. I catch these muppets. Once I walk past my train station, I walk for a whole load of these muppets. Brexit's cost. It's all Brexit's fault. It's all Brexit's fault. Blaming Brexit. I don't know how you went from 4% GDP to coming in my street. It's weird, isn't it? So strange. If you care about Brexit costing the country 4% of GDP, which I'm sure can be contested. I mean, I'm sure I could go and have a look. I mean, I'm sure that could be disputed, right? I'm sure that's your opinion and not a fact, right? But let's roll with it. I mean, It's funny how you go from criticizing me over Joe Joyce talking about Brexit and 4%. Anyway, you can make as many percentages as you want, right? The bottom line of it is, mate, right? And I'm going to tell you how it really is now, right? The difference between me and you is this, and I'll leave it at this. When I wake up in the morning, right, I travel 5 seconds to get to work. That's the difference between me and you, right? When I get up in the morning, because of the job I do, because I have an actual skill, right, that doesn't require me to be in an office, right? No disrespect, but I travel 5 seconds every morning to get into work, and I collect a paycheck for doing that, and you don't. And that's the bottom line of it. And you know that's the truth, right? So again, like I said before, hit me with the 4% as much as you want, but you know full well that Elephant and Castle Station on a Monday morning, you know you're going to be walking up them piss-soaked steps, aren't you? To catch the fucking 850 to fucking Clapham Junction. You know full well that's what's going to happen, innit? You know Elephant and Castle, you're going to be on that Bakerloo line. Monday morning, you're going to be walking up them piss-soaked stairs. Walking past all them fucking beggars, and you're going to be walking in a fucking crowd of people. You know what you're going to do. You know you're going to be doing. You're going to be rushing around. Now listen to me. When you go and rush for that fucking train, yeah? When you go and do that little sprint down platform 3 so you don't miss your little underground connection train, yeah, to get to Clapham Junction, I want you to think about me. You do that for me. Criticize me as much as you want, but when you go and do that little run, you know that little run you do to platform 3? Shit, I'm going to miss the train. You know that little run you do, quickly. You know that little run. Hold the doors open for me. You know that little run, that little lunge you do. You do that little jump. You do that little running jump to prise the doors open before they shut on you. Because you got to get in the office 9 in the morning or your boss is going to chew your ass out, yeah? Right? When you do that little run you do, and then Elephant and Castle Station, yeah, so you don't miss the train, I want you to think about me. Because you know what I'll be doing? Listen, I rock up every morning I wake up. 9:30, 10 o'clock, doesn't matter. You know what I do sometimes? Sometimes I wake up at 10:30 and you know what I do? I say, you know what, I think I'll go to Waitrose. I'm going to go to M&S first before I work. That's what I do. You know, sometimes I go on a Ocado and I think, do you know what? I'm going to order myself a nice Harvey Nichols green tea and then I'm going to get some work done for the day. That's the difference between me and you. So you can stick your 4% GDP up your you-know-what, right? And shove it where the sun doesn't shine. Right? Everybody, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. I love you all. Even the haters, I love you all. Peace out.